Okay guys, I am officially over my hangover and I am ready to talk rugby. So it is time to recap, to review, to revise this game from last night, the quarterfinal match between the All Blacks and Ireland. Kia ora everyone, my name is Zach, I love rugby, welcome back to Hakatama Rugby. So as we know the score, the All Blacks take the victory 46 points to 14. And now where I want to start on this match is first thing I want to say and address the Irish fans. It's very easy to look at this match and say, another quarterfinal exit for Ireland. It's a disaster of a tournament. But I think there is a lot of benefits that we should be taking from this Irish team. Over the last 4 years, this team has beaten the All Blacks twice. They were ranked number one in the world coming into this World Cup. I think they've won 3 out of the last 5 Six Nation tournaments. So, you've got to praise the good work done by the Irish team. Unfortunately, on the day, the All Blacks were just far too good. And it's as simple as that. There's no point in dwelling too much, I guess, on the finer details, and we'll cover a lot of this as part of the analysis, but I think it's a time just to celebrate a lot of the good work that has been done. I think also we need to acknowledge a couple of guys like Rory Best. He's a mainstay of this Irish team. He now has retired, so he's been a great servant for Irish rugby, and I hope he is reflected and remembered that way. And same for Joe Schmidt. I mean, he was able to pull this team together and really make them competitive on the world stage, and not only competitive, but beat every single team along the way. They have winning records against most teams under Joe Schmidt. So I think to both of those guys, thank you for your service to Irish rugby. Thank you to you as a rugby fan. Foremost, I'm a rugby fan, and then obviously an All Blacks fan after that. But I just want to wish those guys well, and thank them for everything that they've done for rugby in general. So, with that done, let's talk a little bit about the match. Now, where I want to start on the match itself, though, is on preparation. Now, the All Blacks pride themselves on prep, and there's been a lot of talk in the media this week, and a lot of the talk has focused on whether or not the All Blacks have come in underdone, given that they had the week off, whether or not they can overcome the defeats that they've had to this Irish team. And I think what people don't realise about the All Blacks in particular is that this is all fuel for the fire for them. They relish these types of challenges. They've proven many, many times that they can come back and deliver when the pressure is on. And they've really prided themselves on that level of prep in the last World Cup, the last 2-3 World Cup cycles. So I think all of that talk and all of the lead up would have done nothing more than spur these All Blacks together. And what we saw was a spirited haka, followed by an incredible performance. I think this is one of those performances where you just marvel at the skill, the low errors, and the great work. I think as rugby fans, we can all appreciate this game. It felt to me about the 45-minute mark when the All Blacks were up 29 points to 0. Essentially, the game's over at that point. But there's a number of really important talking points that we have to get to here. So, on the one hand, the low error count. The All Blacks really they did not make many mistakes. I think I read a statistic that it were 74, they made 73 of 74 tackles in the first half. Only one missed tackle, as opposed to the Irish who made 13 or 14 missed tackles in that first half. And not only that, but from a handling error perspective, there were very, very low handling errors. Now, these games all come down to the ability to execute on the day. It's the ability to absorb pressure and the ability to execute. And the All Blacks did that expertly. You would even see in these little moments where there was a tackle, any standard tackle in the game, it just seemed that like the All Blacks were winning the collision every single time, whether they were making the tackle or whether or not they were running the ball. They seemed to just win the collision time and time again. And that just sort of built, once they maintain a level of possession, they were just very, very hard to stop. And the All Blacks get into these moods where once they get a roll on like that, you just cannot stop them. And most teams have faced this type of backlash from the All Blacks. Unfortunately, it was Ireland on this occasion. And unfortunately, it was a quarterfinal of a Rugby World Cup. So I think really you've just got to appreciate the skill sets, the effort, and the ability to execute on the day, because that's really all this came down to. Outside of that, we know how dangerous the All Blacks are on counter-attack. We saw that again today. Their ability to finish tries it's unmatched. I really liked the work that Aaron Smith. I thought he was unlucky not to get man of the match. He did score those first 2 tries. But the first one in particular was very much a team try, in a sense, in that it was just that continual wave of pressure, which eventually told on the defence and led to gaps that someone like Aaron Smith could exploit. Same on the second try, although it did take Jacob Stockdale rushing out of the line and opportunistically Aaron Smith was able to follow him back and sneak around and into the corner there for that try. So, yeah, I think the All Blacks have proven it again. Their ability to absorb the pressure, to execute flawlessly, and to put points on the board very quickly. So, there's not really much more we need to say. Time to look forward to the semi-finals. And the All Blacks versus England is going to be a huge occasion. England looked very, very good in their game. Their ability to put points on Australia was very, very good. And now they face an All Blacks team that are looking like they are at the peak of their powers. So it's going to be interesting. Can England win that? They can for sure. But the All Blacks will be going in with extreme confidence after that performance. That's it from me, guys. I just wanted to get this recap up. So I hope you enjoyed the content. Please subscribe for more. There's still huge games coming. Enjoy the rest of the Rugby World Cup. See ya.